Namaste, Dandavat Maharaj. Dandavat.
Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Ivo, Dandavat.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Devati. Maharaj, Devati. Ivo. Hari Krishna. Hare Krishna. They are so sweet.
Last time I slept, I was not feeling well and I slept. And by the time I got up, I think it was 12:30. Then I was.
Yeah, okay. Sometimes, yes, we get sick. These bodies. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi. You know, these four.
Yes.
Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi.
Bad.
Birth, death, old age, disease.
Disease.
That's the nature of the material world. Huh? These are the miseries of material existence. The four miseries. Birth is very difficult when we're born. We have to come through a very small opening, and the head has to be crushed.
Yes, true, very true.
And death, nobody likes death. Huh? It's also difficult. Old age, we know that after you get old, everything starts to break down. So many pains come, huh? And disease. We're always facing some illness, huh? Cold or flu or this pandemic. Now we have pandemics.
Pandemic, yes, true.
Difficult.
But the intelligent people, they don't have a fear. Like you.
Intelligent people don't have fear.
Don't have fear.
Death. Fear to death.
When you come to a certain platform, yes, beyond the body, then we understand that there is something that is deathless. That's what the book Prapanna-jivanamrtam is about. How to come to the plane of immortality. And there is a plane that is immortal, that doesn't have death. It's very interesting to understand what that is. Plato also discussed that. The immortal, the eternal plane. He said that time is the moving image of eternity. But he told time is just the moving image of eternity. So there's two places, eternity and temporality. So we have to understand what is that eternal plane, that immortal plane. They're also there.
How do you understand temporality, time?
Temporality is the eternal plane laid out in externality. The eternal plane expressed in the element of externality. That's time. Externality has two dimensions, spatial and temporal. That is, space and time are externalizations of spirit. Spirit understood in an external way, not in an internal, self-reflective way. We reflect upon nature, as an object outside of ourselves. Spirit is within ourselves, and nature is outside of ourselves, external to ourselves. And it's there that we find time and space. Chronology. There's logic, and then there's chronology. Logical and chronological. Something like that. What was that, Nelson? Hare Krishna, Nelson, Haribo.
Hare Krishna.
Jai. How's everyone? Ross Prabhu, how are you doing?
Great, thank you, Maharaj.
I saw you got shaved up when you had your hat on. You got shaved up? Huh?
Yeah,
At your Sika?
yeah, Vika.
Jai. Ananda's clapping.
Haribo.
Are you initiated yet?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Ross. Rasaraj. Rasaraj. We had one devotee named Rasaraj. Anyhow, let's see what your name will be. We don't know yet, huh? We'll just call you Bhakti Ras. I call you Bhakti Rasa.
Ross Prabhu, is sure Maharaj is taking beautiful name for you. Beautiful spiritual name for you.
Uh, Prabhupada would give us name according to our name. They would sometimes give, at least according to the first letter, most of the time. Sometimes he would change that also. So today we'll start. I was trying to think what should we read, what should we study, and I'm thinking the Prapanna-jivanamrtam is so beautiful, so important book. All the books we can study. First of all, it's one of Srila Maharaj's original books, and not written by somebody else. It was composed by him, and the other books are edited and put together from his talks. They're also important. Dhanavad Pranam, Oma Devi.
धन्यवाद प्रणाम महाराज, धन्यवाद प्रणाम प्रभु जी, धन्यवाद.
But it's one of his original books. There are two books that we have in original from Srila Maharaj: the Bhagavad Gita, the Bhagavad Gita in treasure, and the Prapanna-jivanamrtam. And the Prapanna-jivanamrtam is something special because it includes the most important verses from the Bhagavad Gita, as well as the most important verses from the Srimad Bhagavatam, and the most important verses from the writings of the saints and acharyas, not only from our sampradaya, from all the sampradayas, and from the Upanishads, from so many scriptures and so many writings. That is a very valuable book, and it's discussing the most central topic that is of utmost importance for those who are seeking the absolute, for those who are seeking the immortal platform. That's called Sharanagati, surrender. That is the means by which you can reach that platform. Generally, we think that by some endeavor on our part, some energy on our part, we can get something. We can acquire some knowledge, or we can, even in the spiritual life, we want to acquire by our own effort. But the spiritual process is not like that. You cannot, by your own effort, reach the infinite. Infinite cannot be reached by finite endeavor. Only thing we can do is surrender. The process is different. It's negative. Die to live, Srila Maharaj told, Die to live. Die to live. You don't have to endeavor and a self-assertive way. Rather, that has to be given up. All your self-assertion, all your attempts to acquire knowledge or whatever you want to get, wealth, power, love, respect, honor, all those things, they won't help you in the spiritual pursuit. We have to rather take the negative approach, giving up all these things, trying to free ourselves from all this exploitive nature. They call it exploitation. We have to give up the exploitive mentality completely and simply
Frozen.
submit.
Frozen. Man, this Wi-Fi's really been bad lately whenever we do Zoom. I'm going to connect it to my phone, okay?
Okay. Everybody connected? We lost connection. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So we have to give up the tendency to grasp things. Grasp, we are finite, and the only things we can grasp are finite. But how do you grasp the infinite? How does the finite grasp the infinite? Not possible. Infinite has to come down to us. Infinite can grasp the finite. So infinite has to come down to us. And how do we get that to happen? We really can't do it on our own. We can't even do that. We can't even endeavor that the infinite should come to us. We can pray, we can beg, we can do so many things. But the infinite has its own will. And we just have to submit. Our only choice. We only have that one choice. Whatever you wish, thy will be done, huh? Thy will be done. Whether we be being tormented and living in misery, or happiness, or wealth, or big position, or whatever we have, low position, whatever situation that we just have to accept. And pray for the Lord's mercy, desire His mercy, whatever we can do. But that is up to Him, up to the Lord, as whether He will accept or not. Anyhow, there is the process of Bhakti Yoga, which puts us in a good position to receive that mercy, to receive that grace. There are practices we can do that imitate, it's called sadhana bhakti, that imitate what the great saints have taught, how they have lived. And if we practice those things, then we can, even in a at least practicing way, we can have the same glory of spiritual life as those who have reached that platform by getting Krishna's mercy. By the mercy of the devotees, we can follow their footsteps, their instruction, how to live a life that will gradually free us from the material conception of life and raise us to the platform of Krishna consciousness, even in this world, though not completely hopeless. Anyhow, so that's why I wanted to read the Prapanna-jivanamrtam again. Start from the beginning. Those who have not been here. When do we start? You said 2019?
Yeah, the last weekend of 2019.
Okay.
So December, the end of December.
So Krishna Kesava has done the research very kindly and found out when we started it. So it takes
Maharaj, please, in Spanish, translate.
Yes, español. Gracias.
Gracias, Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Disculpa, Nelson, un poquito, y familia, un poquito afónico, problema de afonía, pero bueno, el Maharaj explicó que hoy comenzamos a leer de nuevo un libro muy importante que es el Prapanna-jivanamrtam, de Srila Bhakti Rasasiddha de Goswami Maharaj. La semana pasada ya lo terminamos, pero hoy lo vamos a volver a comenzar de principio a fin. El Maharaj explicó que el libro es muy importante por varias razones. Primera, en el libro hay muchos versos, de hecho están los versos más importantes del Bhagavad Gita contenidos aquí. También están los versos muy importantes del Srimad Bhagavatam, que es la otra gran obra literaria Vaishnava. Los importantes también están acá. Y aparte de eso, el pensamiento de los grandes Vaishnavas, muy importantes en la vida espiritual, también están acá. Entonces, Maharaj dice, considera necesario una nueva lectura de esta escritura sagrada. Él dice que hay muchas, pero esta en especial, una nueva lectura va a ser de gran beneficio para nuestra vida. El Maharaj explica que este libro trata sobre el tema de Saranagati. Saranagati significa rendición, de cómo el alma debe rendirse al Señor Supremo, al Guru, a los Vaishnavas. Entonces el tema, el tópico de rendición es clave e importante en la vida espiritual de una persona. Entonces la invitación que está haciendo hoy en nuestro querido Maharaj. Y finalmente dijo el Maharaj que este camino es sobre todo de eso, de Saranagati, rendición, amor y entrega. Eso es todo. Jai Maharaj.
Hi. Muchas gracias.
Gracias, Maharaj.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Maharaj.
And then Krishna Kesha were told that Harinanda wrote some message that Nelson had a question. Yes?
Yes, yes.
Your question was
Yes.
what?
I will read, okay?
Okay.
Let me change. Thank you. Wait a moment. Okay. I have been studying very important topic with my brother Harinanda, like the book of Krishna by A.C. Bhakti Swami Prabhupada. Sorry for the pronunciation. And the following idea is, Mr. Krishna was a military genius, warrior, avenger of the deed of his brothers. Jesus Christ said that if you were hit on one cheek, turn the other. An example of total dedication of love and compassion. The question is, why will it be better to work to life in Krishna consciousness that to follow Jesus? Examples of love. Of love? Understand me?
Yes.
I thank you.
Yeah. So although Krishna, as a militarist, a military man, he was a general. Krishna had a big army, and he was the general. And he had, and therefore, and he was in a kshatriya position. Kshatriya is the Sanskrit word for the military profession. So as a military man, Krishna cannot say, turn the other cheek. If the enemy attacks you, you cannot say, oh, all right, let them come here, we'll give this city up to them, we'll give that city up. They can't say like that. They have to protect. Their job as military men is to protect the country, to protect their possessions, protect their family. So Krishna in that position cannot say, turn the other cheek. He has to fight. Whenever the enemy attacks, he has to fight them. He has to challenge them. Now, Jesus was not a military man. It was different. He came as the Son of God. And he told, we are all the sons of God, sons and daughters of God. And in that position, we must be very humble. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also taught that. Shanadapi Sunichena, that you must be humble as a grass, more humble than the grass, more tolerant than the tree. Give respect to others. He also taught that. So depending on our position, we have to act accordingly. Not that everyone can act in that way. That will be a dereliction of duty. And if a military man says, surrender everything, just turn your cheek whenever the enemy comes, the enemy will take over. And then where's the question of any justice being maintained in the world? So the police, the military, these people, they cannot simply accept the provocation of the enemy. They have to punish them in order that the society peacefulness be maintained, proper balance and justice of the society be maintained. That is their duty. So depending on the situation, Krishna doesn't always take that position. It depends on when he came as Mahaprabhu, as I told, he taught about this, to be humble than grass, more tolerant than a tree. He taught these principles that Jesus also taught and practiced. They're the right principles for us, who are not military generals. We're just common people. And that is a proper way to follow, by being humble and tolerant and respectful and loving. That is the instruction for us. Understand? Is it clear? A little bit?
I need the translation by Mr. Harananda. Please.
Okay. Okay.
To translate for
Oh,
clarity.
translate. Okay.
Thank you, Maharaj. Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Maharaj explicó acerca de tu pregunta lo siguiente. El Señor Krishna, en el tiempo y las circunstancias que él vivió, o él eternamente vive, ¿no? Pero referido al punto en que tú preguntaste, en esa manifestación del Señor Krishna, en la India existe en la sociedad de la India, está dividida en castas, y una de esas castas es los kshatriyas. Los kshatriyas significa, o es la casta guerrera. Normalmente las kshatriyas son hombres o personas dedicados a las artes militares. Entonces, en esa vida, en esa época, el Señor Krishna era un gran general, un gran kshatriya. Y en las escrituras se dice que todas las personas tienen que cumplir su deber. En este caso, el deber de un kshatriya es luchar, ¿vale? Un deber de un monje es ser compasión, bondad. Un monje no pelea. Kshatriya sí. Entonces, Jesús no era militar. Jesús era prácticamente un monje, alguien que no necesitaba pelear, porque Jesús tenía otra circunstancia, otro país, otro tiempo, no igual. Entonces, en ese sentido, no se puede comparar la actuación de Sri Krishna con la actuación de Jesús, porque no es igual. Krishna en ese momento era kshatriya. Jesús era un monje. Aparte de eso, el Maharaja ha explicado Jesús era hijo de Dios. Hijo de Dios. ¿Y quién es Dios? Krishna. Entonces Jesús es hijo de, en cierta manera, un hijo querido de Krishna. Por lo tanto, no puede haber comparación en ese sentido entre los dos, sobre todo en el tipo de misión. Pero después el mismo señor Krishna vino como Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Y ahí él sí no era Kshatriya, ahí Chaitanya Mahaprabhu era otro tiempo, otro lugar, otra circunstancia. Y en ese tiempo Chaitanya Mahaprabhu decía dar honor a los demás, ser humilde como la hierba y tolerante como un árbol. Tolerante. 3 cosas: humildad, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, su mensaje, todo el mensaje de Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, 3 puntos: humildad, tolerancia y dar honor a los demás. Entonces, si Chaitanya Mahaprabhu es Krishna mismo, igual, pero en otro tiempo, en otras circunstancias, y por lo tanto el mensaje se va adaptando a la época. Entonces, eso lo tenemos que tener muy claro. Tu pregunta ha sido muy buena, muy interesante, y esa es la respuesta que ha dado el Maharaja, y te está preguntando que si la has entendido y si te ha gustado o tienes algo más adicional a que agregar. Gracias. Dandava Maharaja.
All right, no, thank you.
It's okay. Thank you so much.
Haribo.
Thank you.
You see, Krishna doesn't only teach the common people like us. He came to teach the generals, the kings, everyone. So each person has to get a different type of instruction. You can't give the same instruction to everyone. So for the general, for the leaders of society, he has given one instruction, and for the followers, the common people of society, they're given another instruction suitable to that person's position. The main idea is, doesn't matter whether you are a general or a common person, the basic idea is to follow the Lord's instruction. Follow the instruction that's suitable to your position. All right? Yes? Question?
Maharaj, I just had some kind of in relation to previous speaker, like Nelson, what he said. Can we see Bhagavad Gita, suppose, take for example, you said Kshatriya, Krishna as Kshatriya, and so he doesn't want to stop the war or something. But Krishna also, some point of time, he said that dharma has to be established. And dharma is something in Indian tradition, it's go beyond the level of God. Like dharma can be understood in terms of rita. So that in order to establish peace, and the thing has to go on, like the duty, as you said very rightly, to establish duty or the dharma, the war has to go on in order to establish peace. So because already the adharma has been there, and to adharma has to go, like you have to remove adharma and to establish dharma. I think ultimately he is also following the path of Jesus, like to establish the compassion or the peace or the love in the larger context. So the adharma has to go, and that there the war has to go on, unless he is also like giving another morals, that even if he is your near and dear ones, and they have done something wrong, the punishment should be given to everyone, whosoever he may be, your brother, he may be your parents. So create a sense of detachment, and whosoever at the side of adharma has to be punished. So what say on that?
I think that's correct. Krishna says in the Gita, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanar bhavati bharata. Whenever there is a decline of dharma, I come myself to correct it. So that maintenance of dharma is of central importance, because without that, the living entity doesn't know what is his duty, what he should do, what he should not do. We always say that prayer, Oma Gina Timirandasya. It means I am born in ignorance. What do we know? Unless we learn what we have been taught. And if those teachings are not coming from a proper teacher who does, if it comes from someone who doesn't know what is to be done or not to be done, then what are we to do? So we need someone who knows what is the proper course of action, and to follow that, to follow them. Krishna also says in Gita, Yad Acharati Shrestha. That means whatever the great men do, the common man will follow. So those who are in a position of greatness, of leadership, they have to show us how to behave. By their own behavior, they teach us. And we have to, so as I said, if a soldier teaches you to be humble, to accept what the enemy gives you without fighting back, that will not be very valuable instruction. Be a wrong instruction. Then the Dharma will take over, and the whole world will become unhappy. So again, Krishna is always giving the proper direction, so that things may go on nicely, harmoniously, peacefully, and we may practice, therefore, our Krishna consciousness. Remember, the whole purpose of war and all these other things is only for the worldly peace. But that worldly peace is necessary so that we can meditate on what is our real purpose, which is to surrender to Krishna. It's very difficult to concentrate on surrender to Krishna if you're someplace like Turkey or Syria, where there's earthquakes and war and famine, pestilence, so many difficulties there those poor people are facing. But if we have a nice situation, then we can sit peacefully and try to meditate on what is my spiritual duty, what is my relation with Krishna. Then it'll be possible. Of course, it doesn't require even a peaceful environment. And even in an unpeaceful environment, sometimes devotees are always thinking, oh, dear Lord, please save me. They're always remembering Krishna, even in a very difficult situation, especially in a difficult situation. So very nice. Thank you. Hare Krishna. I forgot to welcome Linda. It's good to thank you for coming back, joining us. And host, Hare Krishna. And host Didi. Host Didi. I don't know who that is. Welcome to our
Hosanadi is my friend.
Oh, your friend. Okay. Hare Krishna. Dhanyavad. Namaste. All right. So let us begin then. If anyone has any other question, then we will begin. Anyone have any questions to ask? No? Okay. So we'll begin the next. Do you have that? No, that's Bhakti Kirtan. There you go. Go down more. Okay, there, right there. So this is the opening, one of the opening pages of the book Prapanna-jivanamrtam. The name Prapanna Sri Prapanna-jivanamrtam means the life nectar. Jivan Amrita. Mrita, Amrita, Amrita means nectar, and Jiva, life. So life nectar, Jiva Anamrita. Jiva Anamrita. You have put it wrong in your Facebook page. PPJN. It should be JA, Amritam,
That's how,
not Namrita,
This-
Amrita.
that's how they have it on the website itself.
Yeah. No, it should be Amrita. Jivan,
Yes.
Jivan Amrita. Otherwise, the way you have a Jivan Namrita,
Ah,
that's wrong. They misunderstood.
PPJA.
And JA.
Sure.
PPJA.
Okay.
So Jiva Anamrita. Amritam, sorry. Jiva, Jivan Amrita. The nectar, Amrit, of the Jiva. And Prapanna means surrendered soul. Prapanna, one who is surrendered. So the nectar and the life of the surrendered soul. The Jiva's nectar, the Jiva's bliss, who is surrendered, the Prapanna-jiva. The surrendered Jiva, the nectar and the life of one who is surrendered to Krishna. This is an interesting idea, A very essential idea. We think, oh, that doesn't sound like any fun, surrendering to Krishna. What kind of fun is that? What is the use of it? We want to go out, we want to exploit the resources of this world, go to the movies, meet different people, boys and girls, and have fun and have sex and enjoy our lives and eat whatever we want, become powerful, influential in the society, do so many different things. And we think that's how we enjoy. And then to surrender to Krishna, what kind of fun is there? To give up all those things and simply submit to Krishna, then what? Is there any fun in that? Die to live? What are you telling us? To become dull, inactive, boring, insipid? No. There is life in the surrender of our soul to God. There's great nectar, not only joy, but nectar. Nectar, Amrit. You know the meaning of Amrit? Mrita means death, and Amrit means deathless. There is eternity in the surrender to Krishna. There we reach the eternal platform. That's why the next part of this book is titled Positive and Progressive Immortality. Immortality. You think, how do we become immortal? You know, the scientists are trying to discover different means of prolonging our life. But for thousands and millennia, the scriptures have told us that there is an immortal life already there. We are part of that immortality. And how to make a progressive, positive and progressive development toward that. This is the nectar that awaits the surrendered soul. This is the nectar that can be relished, even in the positive, even in the progression toward that goal. Sat-cit-ananda. I remember when I first came to the devotees, and they told you can become sat-cit-ananda. Sat means eternal, chit, full of knowledge, and ananda, bliss. Eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge. And they told you can become like that. And I said, oh, that sounds great. I'd like to try for that. That I want to try for. That sounds like a worthwhile endeavor to come to that stage. How do I do it? So you have to put yourself in the test tube. That's what I thought. Only way you can do it is by putting into practice the principles of Bhakti Yoga, the principle of service and surrender. And that's how you come to that platform of sat-cit-ananda. Then, what is there not to like? What is there not to be attracted to that? Only one who has become wise after trying to enjoy this world in so many different ways. And they recognize that it's not possible to become happy. All you find is disappointment and that endeavor to enjoy this world in so many different ways. And there's no knowledge in that world either. All so-called knowledge turns out to be a fiction, a delusion. When you analyze deeply, what is that knowledge actually about? You recognize that there's nothing there. It's all a what do you call propaganda, something like that. So we want real knowledge, we want real joy, and we want immortality. And those things are available for those who surrender. That is what surrender, the beauty and the value of surrender is. It gives us all those things. And they are expressed in the relationship of divine love. They're all there found within the relation of divine love of the Supreme. Divine love. So in the Gita it tells, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam tadami buddhi yogam tam yenamam upayanti te. And that means by Tesham satata yuktanam. Satata means by always yuktanam. By always trying to connect your life with Krishna. Yukta. That means connect. Tesham satata yuktanam. By always trying to connect your life with Krishna. Bhajatam, bhaja means worshiping. Bhajatam priti, worshiping priti means with affection, with love, trying to attachment. Worshiping with attachment to the Supreme Lord. Then the Dhammi Buddhi of Krishna will give you. Your intelligence will awaken how you can connect with him and come to him not only with love, but upapati. He says, the Dhammi Buddhi Yogam Tam, Yenamam Upayanti te. Upayanti. Srila Maharaj explained that word in the most wonderful way. Generally people say, you will come to me. But he said that Upayanti means in a very special way, like an upapati. Upapati means a paramour. That you will come to me as a paramour lover, not as an ordinary married husband and wife, but as the paramour, the lover, beyond the marital relationship, higher than that. So Krishna tells us this in the Bhagavad Gita, that by practicing this Bhakti Yoga, then a constant practice of Bhakti Yoga, chanting, doing the puja, following the principles, so forth and so on, that we will be able to get the intelligence how to connect with Krishna that is originally there. We just have to put into practice that process by which that knowledge will become obvious to us. And all the other so-called knowledge will just dissipate. And we will see clearly what is our proper relationship. So that's what this book is about. How it brings us to the eternal platform. Then you like Dr. Sahu was mentioning, what is the difference between the eternal and the temporal?
You were asking me the difference between the eternal and the...
No, I'm not asking you. I'm saying you asked the question. What is the
Yes,
difference between the
yes,
temporary and the eternal?
yes, sir. Yes.
I told that the temporary is the internal life expressed in an external way. What is going on internally in the spiritual world is expressed in this material world in an external way as space and time. There, being and thought, being and activity are internal. And in this world, they're all external. Therefore, they appear as space and time, history and geography, basically. Here is the world of history and geography. There is not that kind of thing does not exist. There is eternal, spontaneous. Everything happens in one moment. And the present moment is the only moment that exists there.
Maharaj, very clearly you have mentioned, whenever you ask anybody about, say, what is eternal and what is temporality and something, they give you big lecture without making it clear. And I'm really thankful to you that you have made this concept so clear, what temporality is and what space and time and what is eternality and all. Thank you so much.
All right. Yes. These things we have to think about carefully and try to make some kind of reasoning or sense of them. That is our job as devotees. That is what we should be meditating on. Not that we just simply go on blindly and doing things. We have to meditate deeply. Srila Maharaj told, dive deep into reality. How do you do that? How do you dive deep into reality? By thinking, contemplating, meditating. If you don't have the right thinking and you don't have the right guide, then don't think. Better not to think, because your thinking will get you confused. But under the right guidance, under the right circumstances, if we can follow along with the thoughts of the great Vaishnavas and think according to what they said, use the guidance of the scripture and the guru, then our thinking can produce some good result.
Nelson has his hand raised.
Yes, Prabhu.
Please, it's very important. Use again my brother Hariananda for translation. Sorry.
He's not able to really understand you unless Harinanda.
Oh, Harinanda Prabhu, you explain.
Yes, please.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Maharaj estaba explicando un poco acerca del término del libro que dice, este libro se llama así, Prapanna-jivanamrtam. Estaba explicando que Amritam significa néctar, Jivan, soul, almas, y Prapanna significa en rendición, entrega, o más o menos lo mismo que Saranagati. Entonces, sí, Prapanna-jivanamrtam, el título de este libro, más o menos significa el néctar de las almas entregadas. Ese es el título de este libro. Entonces, el Maharaja estaba explicando, entregadas, pero ¿entregadas a qué? Maharaja estaba explicando que simplemente las almas entregadas a Dios, al Señor, no a cualquier cosa. Porque si nos entregamos a otras cosas externas, no significa eso. Entonces, el Maharaja explicó que la cúspide del Bhakti Yoga, que es el que tratamos de practicar nosotros, son dos aspectos importantes, que es servicio y rendición. Dos aspectos importantes del Bhakti Yoga. Entonces, este libro, Prapanna-jivanamrtam, toca esos tópicos del camino del Bhakti Yoga. Entonces, Maharaja también citó algunos versos del Bhagavad Gita, bueno, donde daba a entender que bueno, a través de la práctica de estos principios, uno puede entonces lograr una conexión, como enchufar, una conexión con el Señor Supremo, pero no a través de cualquier yoga. Hay muchos yoga, pero no todos los yogas te dan esa conexión. El yoga especial que te da esa conexión es el Bhakti Yoga. Y entonces el Maharaja, cuando habló de algunos versos del Bhagavad Gita, mencionó la palabra buddhi. Buddhi significa inteligencia. Maharaja explicó que no todas las personas aceptan este conocimiento en su corazón y en su mente. Que en el Bhagavad Gita solo aquellas personas inteligentes aceptan estudiar estas escrituras bajo la guía apropiada. ¿Y quién es la guía apropiada? El Guru, el Maharaja, guía apropiada. Entonces, si nosotros escuchamos con atención, inteligencia, las enseñanzas de las escrituras bajo la guía apropiada, que es el Maharaja, él habló de la palabra upayanti, que significa, upayanti, significa seguir la instrucción, correcto, bien. ¿Y de quién vamos a seguir la instrucción? De la escritura y del guru. Dos factores muy importantes en nuestra vida, las escrituras y el guru. Entonces, upayanti significa más o menos seguir la correcta instrucción. Y con palabras más o palabras menos, el Maharaja dijo, no hay que seguir la mente solo, no. Seguir las escrituras, la instrucción dada por el guru. Todo aquello que se haga sin la instrucción del guru no es servicio. Solo es servicio aquello que se haga bajo la instrucción del Gurudev, no instrucción de la mente. Eso es practicar saranagati, rendición. Y eso es en resumen lo que habló el Maharaja. Jai Maharaja.
Devo.
Vivo.
Thank you, Harinanda.
Thank you, Maharaja, for the opportunity.
I don't know how you do it, but very nice. Very nice. Wonderful. So before we continue, I think now is the time to end our Sangha. But next time, we'll just go through briefly the table of contents, table of contents. So we know what the different things that the book will explain in a very brief way. We'll talk about that next time, and then we'll get started with our reading. My dear devotees, thank you so much for giving me your association. You're a joy. It's a joy to see your faces and have your company. I appreciate that so much. My humble dandavats to you all. Please be well. Keep Krishna conscious, always serving, surrendering to Gurudev. My dandavat pranams.
Dandavat pranam, devotee.
Dandavat pranam.
I miss you, devotee, Maharaja.
Hey Maharaj,
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.